Jayanti? Thumbs up. Hello and welcome. In just a moment, dear Acharya Premadas will be joining us in leading tonight's Darshan meditation, and the focus will be, I am that art thou. Just before that, I want to share just a couple announcements with you. The first is that we will be continuing on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook through the end of February. So you can join us on Sundays, Tuesday nights, and Friday nights. And whatever way you joined us today is perfect. You can continue joining us that way, whether you called in or used a link for Zoom or joined us on YouTube. And just a couple holiday announcements. This coming week, we will not have a Friday night service, but we will have a Thursday night gathering at 7:30 on Christmas Eve. So it will be a lovely meditation, and Swami will be leading that for us. And then the following week, again, we will be on recess on Friday. Thursday, which is New Year's Eve, we will be gathering, and there will be a 15-minute intention workshop followed by chanting the Gayatri together. So that's always fabulous. So hope you can join us for that. So that will be, both of those Thursday events will be at 7:30. And let's see, what else? If for any reason you have a challenge during tonight's call, if you're on Zoom, feel free to click on the chat box and send a message to the host, and we'll do our best to help you. And if you lose the video on your screen, if you click on the blue icon with the white movie camera, that will bring the video back to you. And at this time, it's my delight to welcome our dear Acharya Premadas.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Welcome, everybody. It's so nice to have this time to be together in this way. I'm going to do a little bit of a talk as an introduction to our meditation that I'm hoping will create a ground from which we can dive into this particular meditation. So one of the teachings about this time of year with the birth of the Christ child is something all of us can do, is to create a humble manger in our hearts, a place to receive the Christ child, the Christ light. So we make ourselves as a space, as an opening, a receptivity to receive that light. So there is a similar understanding of that I would like to put forth. These teachings, we use the teachings of many traditions which use thoughts, ideas, beliefs, concepts, notions, understandings of life. And so in that regard, we are using the mind. And that is a wonderful beginning place, but it's helpful to remember that we're hoping to move, we're striving to move beyond a thought about or a belief in something, moving to a realized experience, a real life experience of something which is beyond our thinking mind. It is beyond the senses. I've realized that how beautiful we live in this physical world, and we have these beautiful senses that give us so many wonderful experiences of this life. All the sounds that we can hear, all the sights that we can see, everything that we can taste, and everything that we can touch, all the wonderful smells and odors. So, but just let's remember that those are all very limited experiences of life, and that isn't to discount them or discard them or deny them or throw them away. But certainly we know now scientifically that we only see with our eyes a very limited portion of the spectrum of light. We can only hear a certain limited range of the audible spectrum. We know that dogs can hear, for instance, sounds, and other animals, other creatures can hear sounds that we just can't hear. And we can't see those other aspects of light. Or there's another one with regard to our sense of smell, that dogs actually have an entirely different, almost another kind of olfactory sense organ than we do. So we don't have that range of smell. And so you can imagine the same with taste, and even with air, with touch. Like, can you feel the air that's all around you? Perhaps you can, perhaps you can't. Certainly you can feel the wind with your sense of touch, but there is beyond our ordinary sensory experience, there is something much more. And similarly with the mind. So the mind can grasp, can understand these teachings, these ideas, and there again, there's something beyond what we could call our ordinary knowing. There is another kind of a knowing, another kind of experience. So we can use the teachings, the ideas, to move beyond the limitation of thinking to an experience that is that stands on the shoulders of, but it is beyond ordinary thinking. And so it is with that. And one of the things that we're encouraged to do even is to use reason and to use logic and that kind of an understanding. But that will carry us to a point, and it's helpful if we come into a kind of a relationship with our understanding, with our reasoning, with our logic, to use it to test what it is that we're saying, our ideas, but also to be willing to move beyond. And so it's in that light that this meditation of I am that art thou. So in a previous talk and time together, I had talked about the mathematical theorem of if A equals B and B equals C, then that follows that A equals C. And so in this meditation, I am that, we could think of that as A equals B. I as A equals that which is B. Now, it's a very limited analogy, but we'll go with it for the time being. So I am that. I am that source of all manifestation. I am that Brahman. I am that. Verily, I am God, not else but God. So I am that. And so as we breathe in tonight, as with this, we engage in this practice, if we will entertain and focus on and concentrate on the idea and even the experience of I am that. And then on the out breath, we're going to proceed with that art thou. So that Brahman, that source of all manifestation, is one with, is in, as and through absolutely everything of the manifest universe. There is nothing that Brahman, there is no place that God, we want to call it that, is not. So that I am is this one with all manifestation. And so I, this little I, A, am that, B, and B, that, Brahman, is that art thou, that is the whole manifest universe, so B equals C. And so what remains logically and naturally is the realization in thinking, in logic, and reasoning is that if A equals B and B equals C, then I am A equals C. I am one with the whole manifest universe. There is no separation. So I am that, that art thou. So tonight we're going to be focusing on those first two legs of the stool, if you will, those first two aspects. I am that and that art thou. And then to the idea and is for us to move beyond so we can naturally proceed into A equals C, I am one with absolutely all the manifest universe. So inherent in this whole formula, in this whole approach, is there remains some degree of separation. If you look at the formula A equals B, so there is A and B, and there is an equal sign. And even though the equal sign means equality, oneness, there is still a degree of separation. There is an I and there is a thou, or an I and a that. So our ideal, if we will move with this and dive into it in our own time, at our own pace, on our own terms, when we're ready, and dive into it deeply when we're ready, then the equal signs disappears. There is no I, there is no that. There is I that, and beyond that, there is just something that can't even be named or spoken of. So we use these teachings and we use these meditation techniques to move into a direct, immediate experience of I am that, I that, and beyond that to the that which cannot even be named when we're ready. So with that said, I do want to mention briefly before we move into the meditation. So a couple of housekeeping items. At the end of our time together, we will have a single chime indicating the completion of the meditation. And I do invite us all to participate in the meditation tonight if we're willing. There will be a single chime indicating the completion of the meditation. And at that time, we'll have a slide up where, if we like, we can make an offering of thanksgiving. And tonight, that will be an offering of thanksgiving to Swami Nityananda, our preceptor and teacher, and the holder of all of us. So if people are watching online, YouTube, Facebook. You can go to our website, awakeyogameditation.org, and there you can make a financial contribution to Swami Nityananda. We thank you with all our hearts for your generous gift. We thank you for the generous gifts that you bring to all of life by your presence, by your heart, by your service, by your kindness and generosity, not just in your financial gift, but in your presence in life and what it is that you desire to be, the goodness and kindness of all of our hearts together. So, so that slide will be in place after the end of our meditation. So that said, Lakshmi is going to time us. We'll have 20 minutes of silence in practicing the I am that art thou. If we're all ready, if we're comfortable moving into a meditative posture with our feet flat on the floor, with our hands placed on the thighs, palms turned upward, with spine, neck, and head erect, and eyes closed, with vision mentally lifted and firmly established at the spiritual eye, the center of Aham, I am, at the center of pure consciousness. Let us practice this meditation and on the in-breath as we meditate together tonight. Breathing in, we can silently repeat to ourselves, I am that. And at the completion of the inhale, I ask that we all pause briefly, not forcing in any way, pausing briefly into that awareness, that quiet that results at the conclusion of the in-breath, at the conclusion of I am that. And after pausing briefly on the exhale, that art thou. That source of all manifestation is one with all of life. And then pausing at the completion of the exhale. So again, breathing in, I am that. That source of all manifestation. I am that. And pausing. And on the exhale, that art thou. And again, pausing at the completion of the exhale. So let us all now together practice the I am that art thou meditation. Heavenly Mother, Father God, we prepare a place in our hearts, making ourselves receptive, a humble bed in the manger of our hearts. Awaken us to the realization of immortality and bliss, that we all may realize that we are the absolute self. Absolute peace pervades the whole universe, and we join together in bearing witness to that living reality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for being here. Good night.